Welcome back to 6 and 6, where we cover 6 stories from around the world in 6 minutes or less. With that said, start your timer. Central Europe is facing historic rainfall, leading many to be left to feel the repercussions of the flooding. Storm Boris has dropped more rain on the region in 4 days than the moistest autumns on record for the region. From BBC, quote, the death toll from the floods that hit over the weekend rose to at least 16 on Monday, with 7 confirmed fatalities in Romania. Casualties were also recorded in Austria, the Czech Republic, and Poland. Budapest said it would close roads near the River Danube, which runs through the Hungarian capital, citing the risk of flooding later this week. Many, end quote, many citizens have been left with no clean drinking water and much of their personal property damaged or even destroyed. The emergency response throughout the region is currently attempting to mitigate some of the worst potential damage. As we come to South America, we return to a story about the fires consuming the continent. With Bolivia and Brazil, the blazes continue, worsened by the drought conditions in the latter country. From Reuters, the sensation you get when flying next to one of these plumes is like that of an atomic mushroom cloud, said Longo of Lipe. Among roughly 9 million square kilometers, or about 3.5 million square miles, of South Africa have been covered in smoke at times, more than half of the continent, she said, end quote. As the region continues deeper into its wildfire season, some fear the situation will only worsen, though there's some hope that conditions on the ground could change, including an increased amount of rain. We will continue to follow this story. Across the Atlantic in Sierra Leone, a building has collapsed in the capital of Freetown. Multiple people have already been reported dead, while others are still trapped underneath the rubble. From BBC, quote, the building in eastern Fremont collapsed between 11 and 12 local time on Monday, the NDMA said. 2 girls and a boy, all age under 5, are among the victims. 2 cranes have been brought in to help the rescue teams, who were earlier seen using picks in their bare hands to try to clear the wreckage, end quote. Rescuers have been able to locate people within the fallen structure and have already saved former residents of the building as well as shoppers who were present at the base level of the structure when the building collapsed. Looking to North America, where the Seattle-founded coffee brand Starbucks is facing a restructuring going into the new year. Michael Conway is retiring from his newly acquired role as CEO. From Reuters, quote, the move comes amid newly appointed Chief Executive Officer Brian Nichols' turnaround plan focusing on Starbucks operations in the U.S. Nichol, who took over from Laxman Noriman in a surprise appointment last month, said in an open letter that he would initially focus on ensuring the U.S. stores deliver drinks and food on time, as well as reestablishing the coffeehouse culture at its outlets. End quote. The position of CEO is more than likely to remain unfilled as the company attempts to steer its corporate ship in a new direction. As we turn to Papua New Guinea, a battle over land has turned deadly, as 30 people have been shot as 2 tribes fight to claim dominion over a profitable gold mine. From BBC, quote, the unrest had been brewing near the Pagua gold mine in the country's central highlands ever since members of the Sakar clan settled on the land owned by their rivals, the Pendee, sometime in August. Police said that on Sunday alone, there were more than 300 shots fired by tribesmen after peace talks between the clans had failed. Many have called for the violence to stop. Even the Pope said his piece when visiting the area less than a year ago. The local police have tried to intervene, though they have been unable to quell the fighting. Finally, we go to New Zealand, where one of the country's largest airports has opened its coffers in a fundraising effort in order to expand its domestic offers. From Reuters, quote, the equity raise comprises an underwritten placement of 1.2 billion NZ dollars and a non-underwritten retail offer to raise up to 2 million, the company said. The placement is at an issue of around $6.95 NZ dollars per share, representing a 7.8% discount to Auckland International Airport's last closing price at $7.54 on Friday. End quote. The new section will potentially bring as many as 2,500 jobs to New Zealand, as well as expand the options for domestic flying. Shares of the company halted trading until Wednesday. And if you liked what you heard today, you can check out the podcast that comes out on Monday, Wednesday, Friday at the same RSS feed, same YouTube channel, or you can check out the Twitter tirade that comes out on the same day, but over at the Twitter handle at Your Daily Flip. With all that said, there's only one more thing to say. Stay safe. Don't die.